Welcome back to the 1111 Synchronized broadcast. Hope this is meeting and greeting everyone in the highest spirits. Everyone stay healthy, stay clean, keep your vibration high, continue to love and laugh and shine light on this April Fool's Day. All right, everyone just breathe it in, breathe it out. All right, if you have any topic requests that you'd like to hear covered on this channel, please inbox me, send those to my direct message on Instagram at Agent K21 Podcast, or on Instagram and Twitter. You can find me at Agent K21 on both of those platforms. Text me, fax me, email me, whatever the kids are doing these days, do that. And let me know what you want to hear, what topics you want to hear covered. If you would like to be a feature on the show, or if you'd like me to be a feature on your show, same platform. Reach out to me and let's get it. All right, y'all. It's a new season, a new month, a new season is upon us. And still, there's a lot of energy going out there. A lot of stuff is shifting. And, today we are going to talk about spirituality and more specifically tarot, right? Because in times of crisis, there's a saying that in times of crisis, we find Christ in the crisis, something like that. There's a saying about that. And right now we are all kind of embarking on a rebirth of the earth, of ourselves, of our communities, of our society. All of our systems are breaking down, right? And it's a lot of uncertainty out there, but fret not, because, there's a lot of fear going around, but let your faith be bigger than your fears. And oftentimes it's through adversity, it's through challenges that we are able to triumph and be victorious. And so we're all in this school of earth, right? Going through this master class. And oftentimes in times of desperation is when people really find spirituality, religion, faith, whatever you want to call it, is what people reach for. Because as humans, we have this void, this God-sized void of wanting to connect to the Creator, whether we call it Source, Universe, God, her, Mrs., whatever we want to call it, and to each his own. So this is a non-judgmental platform. It's all about authentic expression and being open. So leave the judgments, the condemnation at the door. This is to spread awareness and let everyone connect however they connect to spirituality in their own way, in their own beautiful way. And we're going to talk about a topic that I had very limited knowledge about. Probably a year ago, I did not know anything about tarot. All I knew is it was bad and wrong, right? And having to grow up and reevaluate those beliefs and really question those beliefs that in those conditions that we come in with. Oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. All that is doing is judging something and creating. It continues to perpetuate the false illusion of separation. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm here for expansion. Let's dig into this. Let's see what's really going on. So stay tuned, because I have a special guest feature who really helped me along my path. There's been several people who've helped me along this path of understanding different platforms of spirituality. And my guest later is my line sister, my soul tribe, soulmate for life. And she really helped me out. She came from a similar background, so I really trusted her insight because I felt very seen by what she had to say. And so we're talking about the Fool's Journey today. Now, I didn't know that this was actually a thing, but like I mentioned, I kind of started getting more into tarot and understanding it more, and definitely research it yourself if you're into it, and really shake off those core beliefs. If you have any negative connotation towards it or any apprehensive feelings towards it, really realize that everything that is here, crystals, Reiki, anything of spiritual nature is here for your benefit. And it's all about the intention at the end of the day. So go in with a pure, clean heart and know that nothing is outside of you. Everything is in you. We are all one. So there's nothing to necessarily be afraid of, because it's really a reflection of a fear that we have within ourselves. And so, I don't really consider myself a religious person. Love is my religion. Kindness is my religion. My ascended master is Jesus that I do follow. But I haven't been to a church in over a decade. I haven't attended a church regularly in over a decade because, it was not helping my spirit. So the judgment and not even the judgment, just the conformity, I couldn't get with it because at all times I got to be free. I'm a free worshiper at all times. And so I had a lot of interesting looks when I would enter a church because I'm going to operate out of my spirit. So I might be standing up while everyone else is sitting down and getting strange looks, but that's neither here nor there. So, find your ways to connect to source, connect to spirit during times of uncertainty. There is always a stable grounding source that is within us. And, the creator, the universe, the source, the great I am is always within you. And you can always connect to that and tap into that. And I did an episode on connectivity. I did not write which episode that was, but I did an episode, I think it was last season. It was either season 2 or season 3. Did an episode about, staying connected and being connected. And if you want to know more about that, I would suggest checking that out. Because you can sever a connection. You can lose a connection. You can opt out because we have free will. So no one's obligated to believe in a higher power. No one's, wrong or bad if they don't. And we really also got to start changing the narrative, changing the words we use: wrong, bad, evil, good. All of that stuff has really been translated to, is it beneficial or detrimental to your soul? That is the question. When we label things as bad and good, it's like our ego that wants to be seen as good is like, oh no, I just want that. I just want the good thing, not the bad thing. But if we look at it from, is it benefiting us or is it not benefiting us? Then we can make a decision on what type of spiritual path we want to lead. So, if you're interested, listen to Starseed, read about starseeds, find the stuff that is pulling at you. But I'm going to read a little bit of The Fool's Journey because we're all beginners in life, right? We come into this world perfect and whole in every way, and then we get lost, right? And we have to lose ourselves to find ourselves. And so that's kind of what the collective is doing right now. We've lost all sanity in a way. We've lost all certainty. We've lost what we once knew. And we're beginning this from a child point of view. We're being birthed or rebirthed into this new way of being. So we're all beginners. So the Fool's Journey is a metaphor for the journey through life. Each major arcana card stands for a stage on that journey, an experience that a person must incorporate to realize their wholeness. And so you begin as the fool. Now, don't get caught up on the word. You're not a fool. You may be, but don't get caught up on the word. I'm just kidding. Don't get caught up on the words. Just focus on what it actually stands for. So we begin with the Fool, card number 0, a card of beginnings. The Fool stands for each of us as we begin our journey of life. They are a fool because only a simple soul has the innocent faith to undertake such a journey with all its hazards and pain. At the start of their trip, the fool is a newborn, fresh, open, and spontaneous. The figure on card 0 has their arms flung wide and their head held high. They are ready to embrace whatever comes their way, but they also are oblivious to the cliff edge they are about to cross. The fool is unaware of the hardships they will face as they venture out to learn the lessons of the world. The fool stands somewhat outside the rest of the major arcana. 0 is an unusual number. It rests in the exact middle of the number system, poised between the positive and negative. At birth, the fool is set in the middle of their own individual universe. They are strangely empty as 0, but imputed with a desire to go forth and learn. This undertaking would seem to be folly, but is it? On setting out, the fool immediately encounters the magician, number 1, and the high priestess, number 2. The great balancing forces that make up the perceived world. It is a feature of the material universe that as soon as we name some aspect of experience, we automatically evoke its opposite. The magician is the positive side. They represent the active, masculine power of creative impulse. They are also our conscious awareness. The magician is the force that allows us to impact the world through a concentration of individual will and power. The high priestess is the negative side. She is the mysterious unconscious. She provides the fertile ground in which creative events occur. The high priestess is our unrealized potential waiting for an active principle to bring it to expression. The terms positive and negative do not imply good or bad. These are human distinctions that do not apply in tarot. The magician and the high priestess are absolutely equal in value and importance. Each are necessary for balance. We may view the negative as our shadow, but without shadows, we cannot see the light. And without a ground of potential, we cannot create. As the fool grows, as he grows, the fool becomes more and more aware of their surroundings. As with most babies, they first recognize their mother, the warm, loving woman who nourishes and cares for them. They also come to know Mother Earth, who nurtures them in a larger sense. The Empress, number 3, represents the world of nature and sensation. A baby delights in exploring everything they touch, taste, and smell. They cannot get enough of the sights and sounds that enchant their senses. It is natural to delight in the abundant goodness of Mother Earth, who surrounds us with her support. The next person the fool encounters is the father, in the figure of the Emperor, number 4. He is the representative of structure and authority. As a baby leaves their mother's arms, they learn that there are patterns to their world. Objects respond in predictability, ways they can be explored. The child experiences a new kind of pleasure that comes from discovering order. The fool also encounters rules. They learn that their will is not always paramount, and there are certain behaviors necessary for their well-being. There are people in authority who will enforce such guidelines. These restrictions can be frustrating, but through the patient direction of the Father, the fool begins to understand their purpose. And we're going to stop there, guys. Kind of put a bookmark right there. So if you're interested in finishing the story, The Journey of the Fool, this website I'm reading from is called learntarot.com. Again, that is learntarot.com. Or you can do what most people do, go to Google. Google is your friend, and search The Fool's Journey. And more than likely, this will be the first website that pops up for you. And so, in life, we definitely have different stages we go through, like the moon. We are always whole, but different times in our life, we go through different phases and different stages. And it comes with growth. It comes with, and growth and maturity are very different. You can be very wise and mature and be very young, and be very older and be very foolish. So it's not synonymous with age or numerical age. It's more so about the stages and processes as life unfolds, things that happen in a specific time and rhythm to create that balance. So as we all embark on this journey, just keep your head up, know that we are all in this together, and that we are all embarking on this as new beings. No matter how enlightened we are, no matter where we are, we may handle it differently based on our soul's purpose and enlightenment, and etc. And this is our time to really help people, the babies of the stage right now, to help them without judgment and to help them without criticism, because people are going to be looking towards us, light workers, us people who are putting information out there. And it's important that we remain grounded and not become frustrated because, we can get so burnt out. Like, we've been on this path for so long. Y'all are just catching up. But shift your perspective on that and realize where you were, X amount of years ago when you first started, and have a little bit of compassion on humanity right now as they are learning these new things, and some of this stuff may be very new to you, and that's all right. It's a process to learn and unlearn unfamiliar things that we were taught, and to really get to the true nature of who we are, the pearl that is within us, because we have all been conditioned through this human experience. So fear not, judge not, love others without, judgment. You can't love some people if we're too busy judging them. So please stay tuned and listen to me and my homie, me and Keisha. We're going to talk about this tarot, and how just getting some of her wisdom and her insight is really beneficial. And I'm going to leave her information for you guys. She's on social media. She's doing such great things. She's a light worker herself, and she does yoga and just meditation and manifesting money and just so many different things. So please connect with her. I'll have that information in the description. Reach out. We're all available here for you guys. So stay tuned. Be well. Until next time. So welcome back, everyone, to the 1111 Synchronized Podcast. I have a special guest star today, Keisha Daniels. I'm going to let your energy introduce yourself for you. So go ahead and give yourself a shout out, shameless plug, whatever you like to say.
Thank you so much, sis. I'm Keisha Daniels here in Spencer, North Carolina. Me and Keandra go way back over a decade ago. We've just been close sisters. Myself, I'm a spiritual leader in my community. I deal with all of the arts, including yoga, meditation, tarot, you name it, anything spiritual, Reiki, I'm into it, or I'm trying to learn it. So I'm just on a spiritual path of not just trying to stay in the light, but to continue to be the light and shed that light on other people. So really, that's what I am. I'm a light worker, and I'm just here to spread the energy, the information that I do have with anybody that's open to receive it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for, taking this time out to just do this with me and continue to shine bright. I've given her a couple of shout outs. So if you guys look at some of my older episodes, you can follow her yoga page, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I really wanted to talk to you and get some of your wisdom and your expertise about the tarot, because you help enlighten me about the journey, because I was in a lot of ignorance of it and very, just unknown. And,
right.
We're kind of moving into this unknown space right now collectively. And so I feel like we're kind of going on this fool's journey of being these beginners. And so I just want to know anything that you know about tarot. How did you get into tarot, and anything you want to say about it?
Definitely. Again, like on a spiritual journey, it's going to be a lot of practices, or different methods that you will learn, or that you will see, and that will interest you. And the tarot was one thing that when I came across it, there was like absolutely no way that I couldn't do my own research and learn more of what it was. I think the first time that I had really seen one was I was just randomly on YouTube doing some astrology studying with one of the guys that I do some research with there, and I seen it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So me being I love to learn. When I see new things that are unfamiliar, especially things that have for the most part been given a negative light, or looked at as evil or whatever, I'm just kind of curious in it. And that's in my birth chart too, to be curious with the unknown. So I really, instead of just like saying, oh, I'm gonna learn how to read tarot cards and be able to read tarot for people and stuff like that, it was really more a spiritual journey on like how can these tarot cards help me on this journey, like what kind of light or guidance or source could they be. And that's what I came to realize, that those messages that were left on these tarot cards are also symbols and codes that can be searched back as far in our history as the pyramids. And there's no way, if we believe in energy and we believe in vibration and with numbers, that symbols that depict certain images and certain vibrations, that if they were written on a wall and then still on these same pictures, then that same energy and the same message that energy had on those walls, or the same energy that they have on the cards, if you're just willing to believe that those messages can carry through energy. So when I realized that, I was like, oh man, ain't no way these same messages were like written in history. And then when I just kept reading and kept doing my research, it was like I came to realize that the tarot is simply it's an ancient guide. There's nothing negative about it. There's all good things in it. And the only way to see something negative in it is just be a negative person, and that's just something
Right.
you have to deal with, outside of just reading tarot cards. But yeah, that's really what it was for me. I'm like, people looking like, oh, I'm so scared what the tarot's going to tell me. The tarot can only guide you. It can only give you options to try and make better choices, but it never tells you things that's like out of this world. Like, oh, I'm not gonna have kids. People are so scared of that. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's just totally totally opposite.
And what would you say for people who are like apprehensive about what the reading's going to say, and say it does say something that they're like, I don't really want that to be the case. What do you?
I would definitely, because in my that I do for individuals, I let them know that up front. If it's something that doesn't resonate with you, or something, or if you're scared about or apprehensive, maybe it's something that you might want to deal with before you actually go to tarot. Maybe it's something that you're not being honest with yourself, because most of the things that we're fearful of hearing is the truth.
Right.
So that's really that line of like kind of being real with yourself and being able to be open and accept the truth. A lot of people that walk in that not faith, because faith is just, but people that have to see to believe, people that have to see the stuff to believe it. Those are the ones that are usually skeptical about getting these messages that they know is already deep in their spirit, but it's just coming out and accepting it.
Yeah. And I think, too, it's also like what we want to align with. Do we want to align with fear, or do we want to align with faith and positivity? It's like, once we do that, it's like it shifts our whole perspective. So something that might, quote unquote, seem negative can actually be turned to a benefit to us.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, I know I've heard a little bit about like the Fool's Journey and different things in the tarot. What is your knowledge and understanding of like the Fool's Journey? What is that process like?
The Fool's Journey, again, everybody's journey is gonna have those circumstances or issues where they're like, plain and simple, I'm the fool. Nothing can go right for me. Nothing is working for me. It's just like the death card. When I pull that card in a reading, oh God, everybody's like, and I'm like, you have to learn how to be able to look at the duality of what the word means. Now, we've all been a fool before, but we've all been victorious and we've all triumphed.
Yeah.
We had to be honest, be able to be honest with ourselves and say, is this a situation where I need to not turn a blind eye, you know what I'm saying, and deal with this, or do I need to go ahead and play along with it? Everybody will interpret these cards, and everybody will have their own meaning for it. And that's why I tell people, instead of trying to learn what the tarot means through someone's course online, and I've taught a course myself, but I'm not saying don't do it, but learn what these cards mean for you, so that when you read the tarot for yourself, if you're just doing it for personal readings, you can better interpret what it means. If you go to Google and put in what the Fool means on the tarot card, then you have this vague meaning, and you have nowhere to really go with it.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say learn duality if you are looking at the Fool card or the World, or definitely the Death card. Any of those cards, you can all look at them from different aspects. And again, it's about being true to yourself. And especially if you're doing a reading for somebody else, it's about being knowledgeable about not just one side of the card. But let's say the Fool card that's reversed, it has a totally different meaning and it's perception than if it's not flipped when you pull it.
So what are the tarot? Like what is the history of the tarot? Like I know you mentioned it, these symbols come from Egypt and everything, but what exactly is tarot? How did it get, what's the process of it? What are the cards? What are some of the
so the tarot is consistent of a deck of 72 cards, and 52 of them are the major arcana and 22 are the minor arcana. Again, each one just has a different meaning, and when it comes to a guide for your life. So you have a deck of cards, and it's cut into 4 suits, of course: the Pentacles, the Swan, the Now, I read Egyptian cards too, so some of the decks and some of the books are a little bit different, but the cups, if you're familiar with that, the pentacles, the wands, and the sword, those are the two. Oh, excuse me, those are the four different suits in the deck. So each one of those suits represents something different. If you pull a sword card, and the sword is telling you there's some type of pain, maybe there's a fight or issue, maybe not a physical fight, but it could be a mental fight in the head. Then each one of those deck of cards, each one of those suites also represent a different element of the universe: earth, wind, fire. So when you begin to learn, like, okay, that's how you begin to actually give a good reading, when you can actually learn that not only is this card the okay, let's say the wand. Obviously, if you think about a wand, you think about magic, or some type of magician. So when you pull the wand card, that is a card of creativity. So if I'm pulling that card and there's somebody that's coming to me saying, why can I not create new opportunities, or why am I not walking in my purpose, and I pull a wand? Well, you got to turn. I'm just giving an example. I would say if I pulled a wand, that would mean turn it up a notch, turn up a level, go inside and find other things that you're creative with. Use your magic, use the things that you're gifted with. And then, of course, each card has a number to it. So then you go into numerology. So again, there's so many different little aspects to doing an interpretation and reading for your own. Basically, what our ancestors left for us are guides. So whatever question you asking, you again go to the tarot and you interpret whatever those cards give you. Then it's not just what's on the cards, it's what's in your spirit too. And if you're a spiritual person, then the universal spirit will kind of guide you into whatever it is that you need to give the person that you're reading, or whatever message it is. But it is simply cut up into a series of books and certain numbers that's on the cards, and you have to learn what those definitions mean for you personally, to be able to read them for yourself, or if you decide to be a reader for other people.
Yeah. And how did you learn how to read the cards and interpret their meanings?
I read a lot of books that I could find. I listened to a lot of YouTube clips. I mean, you have to be smart enough to realize what information is not necessary and what is. There's a lot of information out there that gives a lot of credit to the Europeans when it comes to it. But if you put in African American tarot and you put in Egyptian tarot, you will find a lot of history on how those tarot cards relate to Africa and the pyramids, the amount of pyramids that's along the peninsula over there. There's just so many correlations that it's like you cannot deny that the tarot did not start in those pyramids,
the motherland.
And they have pictures. Yes, exactly. And there's pictures on Google. Like, you can even Google and find certain books. I remember looking at that had the same type of depiction on those walls that's on the tarot cards. Another way that I learned was I actually made myself my own first deck. So instead of buying a deck, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a card. So I got like some paper, laminated it at work, wrote on it, and cut them up into little cards. And I just practiced for myself. I would practice a reading for myself. You can find different drawings online. You can make up your own draw of whatever you're going to read. If you want to do a past, present, future, you can choose. Again, if you're reading and you're learning this to read for other people, you have to be enthusiastic about how you learn this and have an approach to tarot. Just trying to get a deck of cards and learning what somebody else has learned about the cards and taking their interpretation of it is not going to make you successful, or it's not going to make a lot of sense to you. But learning them for yourself, taking one card at a time. You can look it up on Google, but also learn how to research certain words for yourself and go back to its original where the word was originated at before you. The etymology of it is what I'm looking for when you are in tarot.
Yeah. And right now I appreciate all that knowledge, because right now, a lot of people might be reaching out for spiritual means and finding ways to connect to their spirit. What would you suggest people, like a a typical reading could be done right now for times of uncertainty and just where we're heading to next, what would you like recommend?
I'm gonna be honest, me and my fiance last week, because he has two jobs with one position was cut short because trucks not coming in. Coronavirus is slow production down in certain areas. So we were just sitting at home, and I was like, you know what, let's pull a tarot card for each other, and let's figure out what we want to ask it during this time of uncertainty, because we we don't know what's going to happen from day to day here. And so that's literally what you do. You ask the tarot a question that it's not a yes or no question, but it's a guidance type of question. Like you ask the tarot questions where it can kind of give you options on how to take the next step in life or how to deal with certain situations. So our question was literally, tarot, what's a way, or what is a way for us to look at this situation, and what's a way for us to come out of it? Do you know, I cannot remember the exact card, but a card represented online e-commerce. It might have been the two of I can't remember it exactly, but we actually went and did more research on the card, because I had written down in some books. I was like, are you serious? And we talking about really buying a lot of merchandise to be able to drop ship it. That's what people are doing right now. And so that, again, if you ask the tarot with the belief and with the certainty that the answer in the card that you're going to pull is going to be the answer for you, it is going to answer your question. That is how spirit works. That is how divine we are as human beings. That if we believe that this deck of spiritual cards is going to give me just a little bit of insight, I ain't asking for $1 billion, a yes or no question for that, but just give me a little guidance on how to deal with. So when I seen that, I said, okay, I got to push my yoga business online. I got to push doing lives online, because again, this is the time of e-commerce. And I was just like, thank you, Tara. But that's that simple. You look up, you pull a card, and you trust and believe that whatever question that you ask, the answer is there for you.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that story, that experience.
You're welcome. Yeah, we were shocked. We shocked. We was like, that's the confirmation we needed.
Exactly. Wow. And how have you guys been holding up? I hear baby Carrie in the background. I hear my love back there.
Yeah. At first I was gonna say maybe our meeting should be late in the evening, maybe when she takes a nap. But it's just so, with her schedule is so out of the world, because I've been stay-at-home mom for so long. Her schedule is just kind of all over the place. So I'm working on getting her together. But other than that, we're doing wonderful. We enjoying the time stuck in the house. But yeah, it's been lovely.
That's good, because everyone is I'm trying to help everyone calm down, everyone just breathe, because it's like it's like how do we want to perceive the situation, like we get to enjoy this time, that much needed time to find that solitude. Girl.
Everybody complaining about never getting time to breathe, never getting time to sit down with your kids. Here it is, and please just hold on to it and don't take it for granted.
Yes, exactly.
Like I've been trying my best to send that message, like, as much as possible. Like, look at this with the silver lining. Like, outdoors need a break from us. We need a break from outdoors.
Exactly. Well, is there anything else you want to say as we wrap up about tarot, about how it's affected your life, your journey, anything for any new people that are curious about it?
Yeah, definitely. I would say anybody that's curious in it, dig into it. Anything that's curious to you, period, at least find out why you're curious. And then if that's not enough to keep you there, then oh well, at least you tried it. With tarot, I would definitely say it opened my life. It connected me to women. I spoke with women that I never ever seen myself being connected to. It also brought me another source of income. So if you're willing to learn it and practice it and be able to share it with other people, it can change your life. You can create an online business for it. Again, it can just be something personal that you use for your family and friends to help guide you. So again, on a spiritual path, the messages that it's given me have been life-changing, like in those situations where I've needed to actually come to the tarot. So I would definitely say encourage you to push yourself into it again if you are curious.
Yes, absolutely. Did you have any recommended resources, books, YouTubes, anything that you want to say as a closing remark, where we can find you, anything like that?
I need to do better with resources, and I'm not sure if I click out of this recording
Oh,
if
I
I
don't know either.
lose you, so I can get back to you with different
Okay.
resources. But I can promise you, for where I started my journey, if you go to YouTube and you will type in African American tarot and Egyptian tarot, you got a slew, hundreds of videos there. Other than that, I'm gonna be honest with you. I found free resources on Google Books, where I would literally read. I think Lisa Powers. I'm sorry that she may be a Reiki instructor. You have to forgive me right now. I can't remember exactly who. It's been a couple of years, but if you Google it, you will find a slew of books that you can find that are free. And then if you want to find me, of course, my name is Coach Keisha on Instagram. Anybody that asks me, I'll add you back, and you can ask questions, and I can probably get you some better resources that way. Then off the top of my head right now, I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. Well, thank you so much. Very grateful to have you
You're
here.
welcome. You're welcome, and thank you for having me, Keandra. I did want to say I'm very proud of you, and thank you for sharing this knowledge with the people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
We signing off, y'all. Until next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.